says in this week's Parsha Vayigash, when Yosef and Yaakov met for the first time after many years of separation, so it says in Pasuk, Vayetzu Yosef Merkavta Vayal Likras Yisrael Ovid Yerod to his father, Goishno, Vayera Ela Vayipol Al Tzavarav, Vayev Al Tzavarav Oid. Yosef saw Yaakov and he leaned his head on his shoulder and he cried Al Tzavarav by his neck. Yosef cried. It actually says, why did Yosef cry? Because of the Beis HaMikdash that was going to be Charav.
That's why he cried. We just learned that.
So Rashi brings down over here that Yosef was Nafal Tzavara Yaakov. Aval Yaakov loy Nafal Tzavara Yosef v'loy Nashkoi. Yaakov did not fall on Yosef's tzavar on his shoulder or his neck and cry. V'loy Nashkoi didn't kiss him. V'amar Rabbi saying Shema. Yaakov was saying Kriya Shema. So since Yaakov was saying Kriya Shema, he couldn't reciprocate to Yosef and to hug him and to cry. Now, first, it's the first raya from over here. So we've spoken about it before. That not just is it also to speak out during Kriya Shema, you're not allowed to be Meramez, you're not allowed to motion anything during Kriya Shema. So Yaakov,
is that the whole thing?
Huh? The first part.
The first.
So Yaakov couldn't do anything because he was in the middle of Kriya Shema.
Mom was right that day.
That's second.
In the olden days,
Kriya
Shema was a Todah to Hashem. Is that what it was? Because every time it looks like you were talking to Yaakov,
so
he was always saying Shema.
So there's two questions here. First of all, why Punklach then that second Yaakov was saying Kriya Shema?
Todah is thank you.
And the second question is, what happened to Yosef? Yosef didn't have to say Shema. If it was his man Kriya Shema,
he said it right.
So why did Yosef have to say Shema? So the Achrayim are very busy with this. The famous Vart from the Kotzka, and I've seen it already b'shem a lot of different people, that Yosef and Yaakov were separated for many years, 22 years. Yaakov, it says before, Yosef was his favorite son, and they met now for the first time after many years. What happens? Father sees his son, we didn't see for many years. He's full of emotion. Yaakov, when it came to that emotion that he had, such emotion for his son, he channeled it to Hashem. And that's why he said Shema. Doesn't mean there was a time of Kriya Shema and therefore Yosef also said Kriya Shema. At that time when he got all that emotion for his son, he took it and right away he channeled it to Hashem to use that emotion for Hashem and give it and say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. That's a word that the Kotzka says. Another terrace I saw is that Yosef was crying. Why was Yosef crying? Because of the Churban Bayis that's going to happen in Yerushalayim. The Gemara in Shabbos says that why was Nevda Yerushalayim? Why was Yerushalayim Charav? And the Gemara says because Ashalai Kara it's Kriya Shema.
3 reasons.
They didn't say Kriya Shema. And it says both of them. Not a different reason. That's a Gemara in Shabbos. I think it's Kufi Zayin with Beis. No, not Kufi Zayin. It's Kufi Testament Beis maybe. But they didn't say Kriya Shema. So Yaakov was showing Yosef, you crying because of the Churban Bayis that's going to happen. The ticket for that it shouldn't happen is to make sure they say Kriya Shema. So that's why Yaakov was saying Kriya Shema at that time. That's what the different terrorists I saw. I forgot where I saw it. But now, what does it mean? They didn't say Kriya Shema. Chalaisra wasn't saying Shema in times of the Churban Bayis. Of course, they were saying Shema. No, it could be they were makpid on saying Shema in its right time. Now, I'd like to go through that a little bit today. By Kriya Shema B'zmano, what it means, and how we'll see that it's not so, even today, a lot of people are nichshol in Kriya Shema B'zmano. Now, I'll start with the mashal of the Chafetz Chaim.
You said this last week at the end? No, you said it's a continuation.
I'm not continuing.
Oh, you're joking.
So if you don't remember, I don't have to continue.
Tell me
the Chafetz Chaim says, this is it's a very controversial issue. I don't want to get involved in it. I'm just going to speak about it a little
we
bit.
shouldn't quote you on it.
And then there's a lot of people. There's different mahalchim, as we know in Yiddishkeit. Right? Now, but the Hasidim, their mahalach is they're not so makbid as Kriya Shema, they're not so makbid as Tefillah. And what they say is because you have to make sure you're making yourself, you prepare yourself enough beforehand to make sure you're doing it right. That's where they come from. So you have to prepare yourself. It takes time. So you prepare yourself that you're ready to say Shema, to learn Chasidus, whatever before davening. Then when you daven, it should be done correctly. Is that the mahalach?
Correct.
That's the mahalach of the Hasidim. And therefore it comes out a lot of times they end up, missing Zman Kriya Shema.
They don't miss me. They say Kriya Shema.
Beforehand.
They say Kriya Shema beforehand, but
Without
during
the brachas.
davening, during davening, they miss. 99%
correct.
miss.
Correct. They miss Zman Kriya Shema with the brachas, which we'll get to soon. And Zman Tefillah also sometimes is an issue. Now that's their mahalach. They say that we do it because we have to prepare ourselves. The Chafetz Chaim writes in one of his form. I forgot where I saw it years ago. You may not like this, but it's okay. So it's good to hear a different side. The Chafetz Chaim says that he gives an example. He says there were two people waiting by the bank teller. One person had with him a $100 bill that was already worn and torn, and he wanted to switch it in to get a good one.
Fresh one. A new one.
Fresh one. There's another one that had a $100 bill. It's crisp, nice, but as it was not 100, let's call it the shekel. It was the old shekel, the old shkolim. So he had the old shkolim, 100
fresh
bill of the old shkolim, and then the guy in front of him had the new shkolim, but the dollar bill was already all worn out. The shekel bill was all worn out. So the front guy goes to the teller and says, "Here's my 100 shekel note." Or sure, no problem. Gives him a nice, fresh, crisp, 100 shekel. The guy behind him comes up and gives him the one that's already outdated. Says, "Here's 100 shekel. I want a fresh one." I can't give you a fresh one. This is the old shekel. You want shekel chadash? This is the old shekel. I can't give you. I'm sorry. So that's yelling. What do you mean? The guy in front of me gave you an old, worn out dollar bill, and you gave him back a fresh one. I'm giving you a fresh one. So give me a different fresh one. I'm sorry, but it's outdated. If it's outdated, it's not worth anything. That's the Chafetz Chaim. The same thing with Zman Kriya Shema. A guy comes and says Kriya Shema. It's not the way it should be. He didn't have the achanis, but it's within the Zman, in the time. It's worth something. Once you pass Zman Kriya Shema and you missed it, it's like coming with an outdated shekel bill and you want to get a fresh one. You're not going to get a fresh one. It's too late. You missed the boat. That's what the Chafetz Chaim says. That's his marshal, and he says, therefore he has a whole thing about people should be makbid on the Zman to say it Zman.
That's actually not contradictory, by the way.
With?
This is talking about, Chafetz Chaim is talking about a person who is in business or doing something.
Yeah.
It's like learning, involving learning.
No, doesn't make a difference. Even learning, it's not the Zman anymore. It's not the Zman, it's not the Zman. When he said preparing, I'm making it look better, the Shema, I'm working on it in order to say the Shema better. If it's past the time, it's not worth anything. That's the Chafetz Chaim's marshal. On the other side, I'll tell you a different marshal they give. I'm not taking any sides, I'm just giving you a marshal that they give. I heard this marshal, I forgot where I heard it years ago also. When you come to a chasana, today it's not a gay anymore because they don't really give you any chalas in the beginning, they give you maybe a little amoitzi on the table. It used to be, you come to chasana, there was a nice, big, fresh, hot bilkala over there.
Hot? It was never hot.
Whatever, fresh geschmack of bilkala, the crown ones. And by the time you finish eating that bilkala, you were full already.
Yeah.
Still do that in Borough Park.
Yeah, still do that.
Yeah. It's so crazy, it's a massive.
Yeah, give us massive bilkala, right? Yeah. So a person who comes to the chasana, a person who has Bereshis, who looks at the future, knows there's going to be a main dish. There's going to be some geschmack and zachen, meat and stuff. Don't eat the challah. Wait, put the challah aside, and wait till it comes to the main course. Fill yourself up with the main course. A person who doesn't think in the future, he eats the challah right away. He knows he has a challah, he eats it, and that's it.
Done.
And he's done. He comes to make course. He can't eat anymore. So I heard a mashal. The same thing is with Pesukah de Zimra and Shema, right? You're going to spend time at the Pesukah de Zimra. In case of worn out, in the Pesukah de Zimra, you're going to miss my Kriya Shema, then you're not going to have the Kriya Shema at the end. Therefore, you're right. There's a achanas beforehand, but you have to know that there's something much more important coming later on, and save it for later on. That's a mashal.
So you can go faster with Pesukah Zimra?
That was the mashal. So when I said this mashal over to a Hasidic guy, he told me, no, you missed the boat. He says, a person who's hungry, does he make a cheshbon?
No, he just
He
eats.
just eats. He's hungry, he eats. You come to davening, you don't make a cheshbon what's better. Now I have Geshmak Pesukah de Zimra in front of me, I'm going to do it. Hashem looks at it that way. That was his...
So
okay.
say Kriya Shema separately? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Or say Kriya Shema later?
So later. So all this is very good. All these Mishalim are very good, as long as within the time frame of Kriya Shema. Once you miss the time frame of Kriya Shema, then all this cheshbonis of saying it later or not is a problem. Now the Mishnah Berurah says in Hilchos Kriya Shema, it says the Zman Kriya Shema is from right away in the morning, and it goes ad Gimel Shoyes, which is V'yayem, till after 3 hours in the day. We'll get to it exactly maybe what the cheshbon is. But he says, Mr. Berurah speaks out over here. Till Gimel Shosh, I came derech me malachim lamoid. Umoinin, you count the Gimel Shosh mezman amot hashachar, Magen Avram, the Gra, from Natzachab. We'll get to that in a second. Ule'inyan lechatchila ein hafkamina. Lechatchila doesn't make a difference. Why? Because Mr. Berurah says, "Lechatchila aser lehis achar ad oisei hazman." Lechatchila it's aser to push off Kriya Shema till the zman of 3 hours into the day. It means lechatchila you should say Shema right away. The second the day starts, right away you should say Shema. You're not allowed to push it off lechatchila. But the eved, if you didn't say it then, you could push it off till 3 hours, till the end of 3 hours of the day, which is the beginning of the 4th hour.
So
That's
you're
with the Evid.
encouraging people to get up at the first minyan.
To daven early, correct.
6:40
So here, here you could have this whole conversation we had till now, that you have to prepare yourself for davening, and you have to learn beforehand to make sure the Kriya Shema is nice. You want to say that you don't want to be yotze the lichatchila, fine. That I can hear. That's where you get into the machlokas, the chasidim and the chasidim, whether you should prepare so much before davening and push off Kriya Shema later on, not after the zman, within the zman, but don't do it right away in the beginning. But once you miss the zman, then everyone agrees that you can't do. That you can't do. L'chatchila. Now,
But you still say it.
we'll see a second we say it, how you say it. So, just quickly, I'm not sure if everybody knows, there's two zmanim for Kriya Shema. There's the Magen Avram zman and the Gra zman. Now, what is it dependent?
When you wake up.
When you wake up.
When the day starts.
So the two zmanim depend. I'll do it briefly. It could be we've gone through it before. It's good to refresh. The two zmanim of Kriya Shema is everyone agrees that my Kriya Shema is till the end of the 3rd hour in the day. You take a 12-hour day. In the summer it's longer. In the winter it's shorter. You break it up into 12 hours, and then you can't take 3 parts of it, 3 portions, and after those 3 portions, no, 3 hours into the day.
Rabbinical hours.
3 hours. It's called Zmanim Shos Maniyos, not Shos Shavuos. You take.
It's 225. Yeah, that's from Shkia.
Alright. So-
When you start from?
Oh, we'll get to that in a second. So you take the day, you break it up into 12 parts. So in the summer, obviously, the hours will be longer.
14 hours.
In the winter, the hours are shorter. The question is, when do you start the day, when do you end the day? That's where Machlokes comes. So the Magen Avram holds, you start the day from Alois Shachar, and you go till Tzeitzak HaChavim,
Al Shach is sunrise?
sunrise.
On sunrise or
No, sunrise is Netz.
Yes.
Alois Shachar is
When you can see the
way
light.
beforehand.
an
Alois
hour
Shachar,
before, isn't that
72 minutes before.
It's
what's
before Mashiach here.
It's before Mashiach. Yeah. Before Mashiach.
It's very, very early. It's
Yeah,
like-
Alois is from Netzacham. Today Netzacham is like 7:50.
Yeah.
7:52. So
7:52.
we start.
So
Once
Alois
and change.
Shachar is 6:40, 6:38, 6:40,
6:40.
6:40,
That's what time we
and
start out.
and Mashiach is like around 7:00, 7:03, whatever it is.
6:40.
Okay.
So Alois Shachar is way before Netzacham, 72 minutes.
So that's when
Seven
it starts.
Shkia.
6:40.
So according to the Magen Avram, a day starts from Alayis HaShachar, 6:40 like today. And according to the Gra, the day starts from Netzach Chama, which is like 7:52 today.
Yeah, plenty of time.
That's the Gra. And the day ends according to the Magen Avram by Tzeitzak Achavim. So it's a much
According to
longer
the
day.
Quran, you missed it if you dive in early.
No, one second. Yeah, Tzeitzak Achavim is by
What time
is the end of the day, and according to the Gra, the end of the day is what?
Today's call would be what time?
So we'll get to the second what Tzeitzak is.
Okay.
And the end of the day according to the Gra is Shkia. So Shkia, everyone knows, is not a machlokes. Shkia, the first Shkia at least, in these days is around 4:45, something like that. That's when the day ends, according to the Gra. According to the Magen Avram, at Tzeitzak Achavim, which we consider 72 minutes after Shkia.
And you each count their Shas Manios. You calculate it based
Right.
on how they figure out their day.
Right, correct. So what's going to happen is,
That's married time.
so what's going to happen is, Tzeitzak Achavim. So according to the Magen Avram, you start your day from Alois, you go to Tzeis. According to the Gra,
Much longer.
it's a much longer day. According to the Gra, your day is shorter. You start from Nates and you end by Shkia.
It's like 2 hours difference.
So it comes out, it's exactly 1 hour, it's a 144-minute difference.
Wow.
72 minutes.
So it's 2 hours.
2.5 hours.
Yeah, so
2.5 hours.
72
Wow.
minutes in the beginning of the day, and 72
An hour
minutes.
or
That means
something.
even though you're going to count Tzeitzak Achavim on Shabbat, let's say you hold the Mata Shabbos is 50 minutes after Shkia, right? It's not going to change the day according to the Magen Avram.
Start earlier.
The day according to the Magen Avram is from Alois till 72 minutes after Shkia. So that means the Magen Avram has added to every single day of the year 72 minutes before in the beginning and 72 minutes at the end.
Right.
So together it's 144 minutes
Every day.
every day. You take the 144 minutes and you have to divide it in 12 because the day starts from Alois till Tzeis.
It's more, yeah.
So you divide that in 12.
It's more time.
It's 12. 12 times 12 is 144. So according to the Magen Avram, every hour is 12 minutes longer than the hour of the Gra. That's what comes out. Every hour.
So basically, if it's like 3 hours and you're starting at 10 to 8,
It's
you can go from 10 to
3:36.
11.
3 hours,
That's right.
36 minutes.
It depends how long the day is.
12, well, according
No,
to this,
it's not-
according to this, it's 12 hours.
It's not 12 hours. We start at 6:50, 6:40,
Yeah.
ending at also close to 6. Less than 12 hours.
Good, so-
Even according to the Magen Avram, it's that today's day is less than an hour per
So
thing.
why wouldn't the average Jew be happy with the Magen Avram?
So one second. The Magen, no, but you're making a mistake.
I'm asking. I'm not
No,
making
because
a
the
mistake.
Magen Avram starts his day from Alois. So his 3
The other
hours.
guy, the
Gra.
The Gra.
So one second, let's go in a second. So it comes out.
Gra sounds good to me, no?
So one second. So it comes
You
out
okay
according to the
with
Magen Avram. According to the Magen Avram, the day starts from Alois. You count 3 hours.
Yeah.
According to the Gra, the day starts 72 minutes later, and you count 3 hours from Nates.
Okay.
72
Yeah,
minutes.
that's
Now, so the Gra obviously has 72 minutes ahead of the
Head start.
Magen Avram head start.
Right. Right.
That means you start later. You start later. But don't forget, the
Okay.
Gra's hours are 12 minutes shorter. Shorter. So in 3 hours, in 3 hours of the Gra, you lost 12 times 3,
36
36. You lost 36 minutes. The Magen Avram started by Alois, right? So it comes out, to make the cheshbon, the difference between the Magen Avram's man and the Gra's man
It's around 25 minutes, no?
is going to be how much?
36 minutes.
Exactly. Why 36 minutes? Because he started 72 minutes earlier,
He's adding
but
36 minutes.
he's losing 36 minutes after 3 hours.
Okay.
So the Magen Avram's man, if you look at the calendar,
Oh,
is
it's
always going to
36
be
minutes.
36 minutes
There you
before the Goyen's man.
We learned
Always.
We learned something today, guys.
Yeah, always going to be 36 minutes. Look at the calendar, the Magen Avram's man is always 36 minutes earlier. It comes out that the fourth hour,
You might think that it would be later because of the 12 minutes extra
Right.
he's adding.
right.
It's because he starts 72 minutes earlier that
Right.
you would get the...
Correct.
Okay, good.
Now, when you go to the fourth hour, where's the Magen Avram and the Gra holding how much apart?
48 minutes.
Oh, 24.
36 minutes.
24 minutes.
Oh, backwards. Less.
24, because the Goyen lost 12 minutes,
Catching up slowly.
and the Magen, right? They're catching up slowly.
Over the time.
By Chatzos, they equal. And then it comes out that the Magen Avram's hours are later than the Gra's hours. Right? Every hour, the Gra is losing 12 minutes.
It's pretty cute, no?
That's what comes out. So it'll come out, the Zman Tefillah, which is the 4th hour. Right? The Zman Tefillah is till the end of the 4th hour. The difference in the Magen Avram and the Gra would be
24 minutes.
24 minutes.
Gotcha.
If you look at the Zman Tefillah, between the Magen Avram and the Gra, it's always a 24-minute difference. Right? That's the difference. When you come to Mincha, Teshashah is the Gra is always earlier than the Magen Avram. Once you get past half the day, the Gra is always earlier. So that's the cheshbon of the first Zman and the second Zman. The Magen Avram Zman for Kriya Shema is 36 minutes earlier than the Gra Zman. Now, who do we go like? So the Moshe says in Tshuva that the Maisa, the Minhag Olam, is to go with the Gra. The latest Zman Kriya Shema. The Yates with the latest Zman Kriya Shema 36 minutes later. Which is it's good to know, it's good to have it. It's a nice Tshuva of Moshe. But the truth is, you have to make sure sometimes that even the second Zman is pretty early. You have in the winter,
Right, sure.
the second Zman is early, in the summer it's even earlier. So you can have the second Zman being
9:15, 9:14.
before that.
Not way before it.
The second Zman sometimes I think is in the 8s. Yeah, the second Zman.
I don't think it's
The second Zman Kriya Shema, sometimes you have
The
it.
earliest it could be, I always remember seeing the Zman Krishma is
Well, to check
9:12, 9:11.
I don't think, yeah, the earliest of the second Zman Kriya Shema.
I don't know about
I don't remember exactly. Well, I think about if Nates is in the summer. In the summer.
That's where the problem is, right?
It's like 15 hours.
It's got to be earlier.
Is it in the 8s?
I don't remember exactly. Whatever it is.
Unless it's only according to the Gra, not the Gra, it's according to the Magen Avram. That's why I never saw a Gra. Where I've never seen Gra, maybe. That's
No, okay, you either have the Gra. Whoever you are, they go with the Gra. You know why? Because the Shulchan Aruch Rav also says it that way.
He did?
Yes, the Shulchan Aruch and the Gra say the same thing. They both hold the second Zman,
They agree with the
not this first Zman. So you go with the Gra. You go with the Gra. Don't say the Gra. You go with the Shulchan Aruch Rav. Let's go the second Zman.
Right? But even that, if you go according to that, I don't remember ever seeing earlier than 9:11.
Okay, it could be. I don't remember offhand.
So Shabbos is always a problem.
So Shabbos is always a problem. The problem is like this.
That's why Rabbi Kropkin had a hard time changing the hour from 8:45 to 9 because he was running to the Shiloh of the
Why did he
Krishma.
change the 9, by the way?
I don't know. Pressure from the crowd.
So the question is, if someone is in a place and they're going to miss the Zman Kriya Shema, what do you do? Someone's davening in a shul and they're going to miss the Zman Kriya Shema. So it's interesting. The Mishnah Berurah brings down over here. So one thing you have to know is that the tzarich l'goymer kula b'zmana. You can't start it by the Zman. You have to finish it by the Zman.
Is that even Shemoneh Esrei also?
Shemoneh Esrei also. You have to finish Shemoneh Esrei by the Zman Tefillah. You can't start it by the Zman Tefillah. It has to be done. The Zman is when you finish. Now it says, "V'ma'achrim kriya shema b'shvil tzitzis," because the tzitzis are tefillin toyin. Shouldn't push it off.
Is that even mincha, like mincha and stuff like that?
He says, "V'yesh anoshim shema'achrim zman kriya shema b'shvil tefillah b'tzibur v'gam zeh shaloi kedinhu." Someone pushed off kriya shema because it's tefillah b'tzibur v'gam zeh shaloi kedinhu. Shaloi kedin. Why does shaloi kedin? Because you have to say kriya shema b'zmana. So what are you going to say? I'll say shema before davening. And then later on, I'll say Kriya Shema again with the brachas, which is not so simple. You can do that.
You have to have your tefillin on.
First, I have to have the tefillin on. That's one thing. We'll say the same with Shabbos. During the week, it's not such an issue. Shabbos is when you have the issue. People daven in minyanim, and they miss the Zman Kriya Shema, and they said it before already with the brachas. So now it's like
it's
this.
not a big problem, right? It's a problem, but it's not.
We'll see how big of a problem it is.
Maybe we shouldn't hear what's a good problem.
Alpha preaches man nimshach at sefer shah gimel. Imrava shah gimel v'lei kara. The third hour passed. Let's say the second Zman Kriya Shema, 9:11 Shabbos morning, and daven 9 o'clock minyan. Kair oisa v'brichaseh kol shah dalid. In the fourth hour, you're allowed to say Kriya Shema with the brachas. So shlis hayoyim ve'en lo yitzchak kair b'zmana. You don't have the schar kair b'zmana. V'im ovra shah dalid v'lei kara kaira b'lei brichaseh kol hayoyim. Mechaber Paskins, if you already passed the fourth hour of the day, the child is why in the third hour you last say it, the brachas. If the Zman Kriya Shema is till the end of the third hour, so now till the end of the third
You
hour.
said
We'll see about the fourth hour in a second. The Zman Kriya Shema is till the end of the third hour, so why are you saying the brachas later on? So the Mishnah Berurah says over here, which is good to know, he says, the brachas einam shayachim l'Kriya Shema. The brachas that he's saying, a brichas Kriya Shema, is not dafka tied into Kriya Shema. Dafka shenitzkenu koydem Kriya Shema, v'kamokem lav brichas Kriya Shema hi. It's not a bracha that he's saying on a mitzvah, like you're saying a bracha on a lulav. The brichas Kriya Shema are not a bracha on the Kriya Shema. You don't say that bracha likroi Shema. Varehem k'may tefillah. It has a din like tefillah, or the fikar chedina k'may tefillah hashachar shorachat shlish hayoyim. The brichas Kriya Shema have a din like Shmona Esrei. Shmona Esrei you have till 4 hours in the day. Brichas Kriya Shema you have till 3 hours. Shema you have till 3 hours in the day. So now, if someone has a shiloh, he's davening, and they're going to say Shema later on, without the brachas, with the brachas, I mean, but he's going to miss Kriya Shema. Even though you're allowed to say the brachas afterwards, but you're best off saying it with Shema. The brachas Kriya Shema, you're best off saying it with Shema.
You can do that?
What?
If you're davening at your home alone,
Yeah.
and you're davening later on, you can say Kriya Shema with the brachas before you go to shul? You said
No,
it's better,
not with the brachas.
you said it's better to say Kriya Shema with the brachas.
By itself,
daven
then
by
daven with the daven mechidus, not with the ashma.
The whole davening?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's
The whole
better by
davening.
Chidus than with a minion
Right.
later on.
So it comes out.
Do we hold like that, or that's just...
Yeah, the Chayr we hold that way. The Chayr we pass it. That's why it's a big problem. I've seen a lot of times in shuls.
I don't know about that.
Miss the minion? That's a little bit.
The Mishnah Berurah Paskins.
So you
The
can't
Mishnah
go. You
Berurah
can't go the
Paskins.
9th, 15 minutes. To make a long story short.
So if you say the brichas seha, if you finish the night 15 minyan, I'm not sure when they finish the brichas kriya Shema.
9:45.
9:45 is still within the 4 hours, so it could be you're okay. Could be you're
Not
okay.
in the summertime.
But if you're doing it in the fourth hour, after 3 hours in the fourth hour, you're not saying Kriya Shema with the brachas. You're saying the brachas as a tefillah by itself, but it's not Kriya Shema with the brachas. Because it's not Zman Kriya Shema anymore. Zman Kriya Shema passed. Therefore, a person should try to be makpid to say Kriya Shema with the brachas
On time.
in its man. I find a lot of times in Minyanim they have that they can miss Kriya Shema with the brachas by a minute or two.
Huh.
And
That's
it's not a peshaya. There's no reason why. There's no reason for it. Especially, which I've seen a lot of times, that people are mayrich on the Kel Adain. They sing a long Kel Adain, and by the time they finish singing Kel Adain, it's very past my Kriya Shema. Which for that there's no
Very, very smart.
there's no heter.
Good point.
There's no heter for that l'chayr.
I don't know.
But a Rav is supposed to be pushing the chazan.
But to move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A good Rav will. I know Rabbi Tal will drive everybody crazy.
Well, for my Kriya Shema.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so
On
if-
Shabbos he would go like
So
this.
if you're in a shul where the davening later and they're not the close to Zman Kriya Shema, okay, you say Shema beforehand without the brachas. Then later on you say with the brachas after the Zman. What should you do? That's not a b'diavad, but nothing you can do about it. But if in the shul that they could make it, but they're totally ignoring it, or they will drop faster and make it. For that, the chayr is no heter. The chayr is no heter for that. You should make the
Shabbos
Kriya Shema.
Menucha.
I think you should come up,
It's a
you should
singing,
come up
it's
for
beautiful.
Shabbos, I think, and give the shear of this in the No Frills Minyan. Explain all this to them.
You don't know
What do you think? Can I set it up for you?
Yeah, but they're so fast. They're so fast. They like 10 minutes into it.
No, but they start later.
The talk is a film.
Yeah, but they daven so fast. They
It
have
would be a
nothing.
film so fast.
They daven so. It's like a regular weekday davening. That's what's going on.
Okay, forget about it.
Yeah, it's not even a Shabbos davening. It's like they're sitting and rushing for.
What he's saying is
what?
there are bigger issues.
What's this?
What he's saying is there are bigger issues.
Yeah.
They're not
That's
even
my Kriya Shema.
what is this? You just go in there. It's not Shabbos. It's
Oh,
like a
so-
weekday davening.
It's definitely a kedai if a person could to do it at least with the second Zman Kriya Shema, to try to get it in with the brachas. That's for
So
sure.
you're saying after the 4th hour, you would not say the brachas.
So
for
the
Krishna.
Mechaber Paskins
Yeah.
that after the fourth hour,
Yeah.
which is what they have in the calendar, it's called Zman Tefillah. then you're not allowed to say the Bereshis Kriya
You're
Shema.
not allowed to.
Correct. It's a bracha levatala according
So,
to the
so,
Mechaber.
so if you're davening, what don't you say? So after Baruch,
Well,
how far do you
You
go?
don't say anything. You can't say Yetzirah. You can't stop.
So,
Nothing.
After you shtabach, you go right to Shema.
Just a commentary. And not everyone holds like that.
Let it be held that way.
Not everyone holds like
Yeah,
that. Relax.
that's
I am relaxed. I just want to know.
that's what the Mechaber paskins.
Okay.
That's what the Mechaber paskins. There are achrayim after the Mechaber that say you
if the
could say
day
Chol
starts, one
Chatzos.
second, if the day starts at 6:40,
That's what I was
Yeah.
about.
so according to this, for the 4 hours, we're talking about like 10:40.
Yeah. No, yeah, probably that time I made a drop earlier.
Who doesn't pass?
Yeah,
who doesn't
most
daven
people
past
finish-
10:40?
Lubavitch, a lot of guys don't.
Okay, but Lubavitch they say Kriya Shema before everybody.
No, but it's
No,
not
we're
going
not
to help.
talking- we're talking
Bereshis
bracha.
Okay, so that's a man.
Brachas can be a problem.
It's
It's
not
not
what
normal.
That's
Now, how,
the
do women,
Mechaber.
how do women, a lot of women, they daven right till Chatzos.
It's a problem. Bereshis Kriya Shema, you know it's a problem.
Even for women.
Women have the
Yes.
same thing.
With yeah, the same thing. With Bereshis Kriya Shema, it's a problem. The master, there are person that say that the lights could do say the Bereshis Kriya Shema until Chatzos.
Yeah,
But the truth is, women
That's why
should
you go
definitely say Shema earlier.
Oh, they should. They don't know that.
They definitely should say Shema earlier. They're not mechuyev to it. It's man grama.
That's
They're
why
potter.
if
They're
they have
potter.
kids, they can't do it. They don't even have
Yeah,
anything.
but if they want to get the mitzvah of Kriya Shema, they say it after the third hour. It's not the mitzvah of Kriya Shema.
Mitzvah of davening.
Right? It's the mitzvah of davening. And it's also a problem not just with women. It's about Bachram also.
No, yeah.
Bachram ben Izmai, they get up at 9:00 sometimes, and Zman Kriya Shema is
We got a 9:30 meeting every Sunday here.
yeah. And not 30 minyan. You miss the second Zman Kriya Shema.
Fact.
No, but 10:40. Remember, it's 10:40.
No, it's second.
Sunday.
No, that's
That's the fourth.
Zman Tefillah.
Not so, but is it?
It's Zman Kriya Shema. Zman Kriya Shema, not the brachas. The brachas is something else. There's the Kriya Shema and then there's the brachas. The Kriya Shema itself, there's no heter to say it after the Zman, after 3 hours. So you missed it.
Gotcha.
So this is what they're talking about. Actually, this is what happened during the Beis Hamikdash.
Oh, so that's
We lost that point.
right. So that's where I started
Let's
off
talk
with.
about Yaakov.
That's where I started off with.
That's good. Give a good memory.
That we said in the beginning that
Listen to this.
that the Beis Hamikdash was nechrav because I didn't say Kriya Shema. I didn't say Kriya Shema. I didn't say Kriya Shema.
So that's
But could be pshat is that we're makpid on Zman
They're
Kriya
too
Shema.
busy fighting to say
That's
Krishna.
pretty.
But today happen a lot. Unfortunately,
I don't
see, today
understand.
people rolling
It
into.
doesn't make sense because they had Nevi'im, they had Kahanim. Nobody said anything. No one opened their mouth.
They did.
They had a lot of issues.
Nobody cared.
No, listen.
Okay.
Things haven't
That
changed.
happens
over
these
the
Things
days.
haven't changed. Yeah.
That is how it is.
Never changed.
Okay, today we understand. You know, there's too many rabbanim, too many this, but okay.
A lot of people don't know this also. We learn that people don't know.
Shishkayach. This is a very, very interesting issue.
Yeah.